All right, Pirate fans and surrounding areas, this podcast Wednesday, and we're going to be talking basketball on this podcast, and we're talking Rockport Pirates basketball. And on the screen, I have our head coach here in Rockport for our boys basketball, and that's Coach Keith Thompson. Coach, how you doing?
Pretty good. And yourself?
I'm doing good, Coach. Sorry I was running a little late. I had Coach Gonzalez on. He's our coach here in Rockport for the Lady Pirates, and so Coach Gonzalez gonna come on every Wednesday at 6:30. Coach Thompson at 7. So there'll be about 30 minutes. So for all the Pirate fans that interested in basketball, definitely tune in every Wednesday. And so we'll be talking Lady Pirates basketball. Really excited about that. And I like to also say that we're going to be playing more games than we did last year. So last year we did the podcast, but we didn't stream a lot of games. This year we are going to stream a lot of the boys and girls basketball. So there's that to look forward to. And as you heard earlier, Coach Gonzalez is going to be bringing in some of his Lady Pirates. Coach Thompson will do the same. In a couple of podcasts, we'll hopefully have some of the players coming on that we can interview. So really excited about all of that. And I would ask the Pirate fans that the way you can support the one way you can support the Pirates Coast Sports Network is on these podcasts is to like it and share it to your timeline where all your friends can see it, or to a friend or a family member. But let's get this out there. Coaches, I have a long day, and they come out and spend 30 minutes here to talk about their program, to talk about their players. So definitely like to see the viewership grow here. So hopefully that'll happen. But Coach, if you can hear me, just wanted to kind of start off here with and recap some of the games here that we had. The last two games we played Corpus Christi Moody, two of the bigger schools in Corpus, and then we played Corpus Christi King, and we got the wins over both of them. Can you kind of recap, talk a little bit about those games, getting the wins, and what did you see from the Pirates? We still do not have Coach Thompson still does not have all of the players. They are still playing football, and so definitely we are looking to get all of those players back. But Coach Thompson, we did get those wins against Moody and King. And so, Coach, just want to get your thoughts on the two wins and what did you see from the Pirates against Moody and King? They got us those wins.
Um, well, the first game against Moody, I thought that the boys, got out to a good start, and they played hard. With us only having about 7 guys, they got after it. They played hard. Um, we we made shots. We were able to make some shots, man, and that's always good. Against King, I thought they really executed the game plan of what we wanted to do. And they valued the possessions. I felt like against Moody, we turned the ball over a lot down the stretch, leading it to become a closer game than I like. I felt like we were more consistent against King, and able to really to keep the guys off the glass. Something that we normally struggle with, giving up second, third chance points like that. So I thought they cleaned it up, and I thought we got that much better.
That's yeah. It was awesome to see that. Considering, Coach, that you still don't have all your players, you're missing some key players still playing football, right? So you still don't have these guys playing just yet. I think once they get in there, it'll take some time to get kind of that chemistry together. But really excited to see to get these two wins, and then when those other boys come in from football, the potential of what this team can really look like is exciting. Um, Coach, did any who stood out to you? Was there any player that you wanted to? I know you're evaluating all the players, but did anybody stand out to you? A young player, anybody in these two games or one of these games that you said, man, they really played a great game?
Uh, Stood out to me. I mean, obviously Roman Cox leading the charge, averaging 23 points a game right now, man, and doing it, very efficiently, shooting about 72% from three. Um, shooting about 86% on field goals, about 75% from free throw. I mean, he's doing it all as far as putting the ball in the rim. But Brian Kizer, who is a move in for us this year, sophomore guard, has really stepped up and become that second ball handler. and being able to put the ball in the rim for us also. So it's refreshing, after losing a guy like Carter, who also helped Roman handle the basketball, make plays like that. That we got somebody else that can kind of fill that role, and he's young. He's only a sophomore, so hopefully we get him for another 2 years after this. So his game has actually stood out to me a lot.
That's awesome, coach. And yeah, last year, I thought that teams had a lot of trouble with Carter and Roman. I thought a lot of times when I watched them play that they could get in the paint whenever they wanted to. I mean,
Yeah,
teams would come back on us. We'd be up 12 and they could cut it to 6. But when we needed a bucket, these guys were able to get in or they'd get fouled. They
yeah,
were able to break the defense down, get in there and get to the foul line. And I thought that was huge for us. And that won us a couple of games. And so, of course, Carter being gone now, but Roman, the expectation for Roman is higher, right? Like anybody that's watched him spend on this varsity a team since he was a freshman, the expectations for him are super high. And you're hearing coach here talk about early on in the season, he's lighting it up, man. And it's no surprise to me, coach, that this kid could do this. I mean, I saw the older brother play as well, and so we know what he's capable of doing. It's nice to hear that he's off to a great start here. We're going to need him to continue to do that for us to be able to have a lot of success, win some games, and get into the playoffs. Coach, let's talk a little bit about the other levels of the games. Did the middle school already start as well? And if they have, how are they doing? And what can you tell us about the freshmen and JV?
middle school has started. This Monday we actually had home games against Beeville, where we were playing in. I believe we got swept across the board, but that's a good program over there. I mean, Beeville, especially at the middle school level, man, they play a lot of basketball. So it's good for the boys to see that. You know what I mean? See that level of competition and realize that they got a lot of work to do to catch up to these guys. So I think they're learning. They're trying to get better. And like I said, man, at that age, all I really care about is development and enjoyment. Right? Development and enjoyment. Like the wins will come later. Um, we'll have the guys that really want to stick with the sport go ahead and stick with the sport and excel. But as long as everybody's having fun down there, I think that's what it's about, especially at that age. The freshmen, oof. What can I say about the freshmen? Man, there's a lot of them. Monday after the football season was over, Coach Souza went ahead and let those boys come to practice. It was about 35 freshmen walking to the gym.
Wow.
No, so good problem to have, but um, they're pretty much taking over our sub varsities right now. So um, they are getting a lot of reps in. You know, the guys that were on B team right now are on the freshman team. Guys that were on A team are on JV, and they're playing up, and they're getting to see what it's looked like playing against sophomores and juniors, which really excites me, man. Because when it comes to district time, especially with us, playing all these CCISD schools and the big 5A stuff like that, the competition. I'm hoping that it'll get them ready for when we go into district and they have a lot of confidence and success when they drop back down to the freshman level.
That's great, coach. And to hear that many kids in athletics coming out to basketball, I mean, that's got to be exciting. I mean, to have that many kids want to come out and play, right? It's great. I mean, we always talk about come on out and play athletics, right? And so it's great to see that after football season, they're all wanting to come out and play basketball. So that excites me to hear that we've got kids that want to come out and play. And again, there's still the varsity players, still quite a bit of basketball players still playing for varsity. So a lot of those underclassmen got moved up for the playoffs. And so I think once that season ends, which hopefully isn't tomorrow, because I'd like to go another 1 or 2 rounds. That'd be great. But whenever it ends, I know a lot of those players are going to come back. So you're going to have your hands full with all kinds of players, and where are you going to put them all? It's a good problem to have, Coach, to see where they all fit in. But I think it's going to be a great a season for us. We have made the playoffs the last couple of years, and we've got one of the best, I think, in the Coastal Bend, and Roman Cox coming back. He's been there with you for the last a few years, and that's great. And I know you talked about wanting him to step into that leadership role a little bit more. but it's great to hear that he's off to a great start. And injury free would be key, right? But I think he's just going to continue to get better. So hopefully everybody else is just coming along with him for the ride, and we get all those wins. So that's great, Coach. And again, this starting tomorrow, the boys will be traveling to Corpus. They have a CCISD tournament. So, Coach, I think you're going to be playing Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Talk to us a little bit about that tournament, and what kind of teams do you expect to be in that tournament?
Oh man, teams that I expect to be in it, man, some tough teams. Like I said, the 5As of Corpus will be all in there. We got some guys coming down from San Marcos, some San Antonio teams, some Austin teams. That it's gonna be some tough competition. I'll tell you that right now. I'm looking at some of these guys that are playing, and it's gonna have us battle tested coming out through there. So that's good for us because as many physical games as we can get and we get used to that style, especially since when playoffs come, that's I feel like it's going to be. It's just going to be a good test, man. I think it'll be a learning experience for me and the boys. How we handle adversity, how we push through, and how we can learn. So I'm excited to see what we can do tomorrow, man, and see how it all goes, from there.
Coach, the good thing about these players that are younger, like you're talking about, they get that opportunity, right? And so when there's still football going on, you get to see, and these kids get to play free, right? They get to go get. I mean, when your number's called, I've said this before on the podcast, right? Gives you an opportunity to get up there to play on the JV if you're a freshman. It gives you an opportunity if you're another classman to play varsity. You get that opportunity to show what you can do on the court, and I think that's great. That's why I think staying ready, practicing hard every day, because you never know when your number is going to be called. You just never do. You never know, for a game or so, and if you get called up for a game and you do so well, hey, you stay on varsity, so you've got to stay ready. You never know when your number is going to be called. You keep playing hard, you keep practicing hard, and when your number is called, you'll be ready to go. If that's to play 30 minutes, 20 minutes, or if that's just to play 5 minutes, whatever your opportunity is, take full advantage of it. I'm glad to hear that we've got some young guys that are really showing out and showing Coach Thompson what they can do on the court, especially these young guys. For me, when you hear sophomores, you get excited, right? Because you want the program to succeed this year, but to keep succeeding for years to come. So the younger kids definitely play a role. Coach, playing for in this tournament, what do you specifically want to see from your boys get better at? Is there certain, is it just an overall performance, or is there something you're looking at to say, I want to see how they compete? This is what I want to see them get better at against these bigger and tougher schools.
I would say number one, um, developing that next play mentality. I think that this is going to be, and I've talked to the boys, man. This is gonna be good, or this is gonna be ugly. So if it gets to where it's ugly, like let's just keep playing, right? There's nothing we can do about the last possession. It's over. It's done with. And I think that's a good lesson, especially for these younger guys. Like we got Alex Castaneda, who's a sophomore. He's trying to learn this right now. The last shot, nothing I can do about it. My last turnover, nothing I can do about it. And he kind of holds his head a little bit on it, but I'm just like, we got to keep playing. We got to keep going. So I think playing against these guys who are going to make it hard on us, I think that is what I'm looking for. Can we get past those mental mistakes, and can we just build on mental toughness and work on the next thing? And and we're preaching the next possession is the best possession. Let's just keep going. That's number one. Number two, just competing, right? No matter who steps in those lines, and not backing down, not even when we're outnumbered or outclassed, whatever it is. No, know that it's going to be a dogfight with us, man. And I think that is another thing that I really want to get out of this tournament. Confidence that you can play with anybody that you step on the floor with. Surreal confidence, even if you are outmatched. Don't let anybody know that you know that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, Coach. And I think that's great. I mean, getting into that, playing these tougher teams, right? You want to see what what the boys, how they're going to handle that, right? If you go down early, are you going to continue to play tough? But I think what you're saying is so key. So many players, and I've heard so many coaches say this when they come on the podcast, and they're like, "It's the next play. You got to forget it, right? Like there's so much left to play. You turn the ball over, you take a bad shot, or whatever the case may be. You got to forget it. You got to come back and make a better play, make up for it, right? But that is key. Don't put your head down. Don't feel bad. There's still a lot of game left. Play till the last second, and hopefully you'll see that from these guys, because I think right now these kids that are getting these, especially these younger kids, coach, that are getting this opportunity to come out here and play, whatever happens, whether they stay on varsity, they go, whatever the case may be, they're going to be better for the time that they got to play against these teams, right? If that's later on in the year, if that's next year, having this opportunity to play these tough teams, these bigger schools that are going to make it hard on you, whatever the results are at the end of this tournament, it's going to make our players better, especially those young ones when they come back up and continue to play wherever that is the rest of this year and going into next year, right? Because you're talking about a lot of sophomores. Alex Castaneda, I've heard so much about him. A lot of people never seen him play basketball, but I hear so many good things about him and the type of athlete that he is. That excites me when I do get the opportunity to see what he can do on the court. So that's what's exciting, is just to continue to play hard, and let's see what we can do against some of these tougher schools. So definitely excited to see how we're going to compete against at that CCISD tournament, coach. And then next week it's West Oso, a school that you're familiar with, right? Like you know that program well. You won a state title with them. You were the last team standing when you were in school, so you know that program and what they bring. What do you want to see next week from the Pirates, and how tough do you think that game is going to be?
Oh man, I think it's always gonna be tough when you go and play a team like Oso. Basketball school through and through. Guys that love to play, um, that are almost bred to play basketball. So I think games like that are good for us because you know it's gonna get chippy. You know it's gonna get physical. You know they're gonna run. You know they're gonna do all the little things. Um, and I think those are the type of games, not where you're so outmatched physically, but just basketball wits. Like, can you keep up with teams like that? And I think that this, especially early on, this is a good game to have. They are, like I said, man, they're gonna run you down. They're gonna be physical. They're gonna grab. They're gonna pull. They're gonna do all those little things. And I think that also gets us ready for playoff type basketball, things like that, where we're not making excuses and we're just finding a way to get it done. So like I said, tough game. Uh, a lot of lessons learned how to play through that type of atmosphere.
Yes, yes, and you got to learn it. That's the way you learn it, right? But I think you go in there and you play. I think you get better whether you win or lose. I mean, you get better. Playing the tougher teams gets you better. Even if you take the loss, I think there's always something to learn. I know when I played, I wanted to play the best. I wanted whoever people were talking about, I wanted to go play that team because I wanted to be able to show that we could beat them or we could compete with them, right? So people could take notice of us. That's just the type of athlete I was. I wanted to go play the best. I didn't want to play these teams that got be who's the best around here, and let's work hard and let's go play. And coach, I got to tell you, I didn't like losing very much. It really bothered me when I took the L, man. I just, it bothered me. I couldn't wait. That's just the type of player I was. I played to win, and I practiced to win. I was a good sportsmanship. If we lost, we lost. But I wanted to win. I wanted to practice even harder and get ready, represent my school, represent myself, and I wanted to get those W's. They meant a lot to me when I was there at Rockport. So definitely, I know that we're going to give 100%, and those games are going to be tough. Again, the CCISD going to be tough. That's what we got coming up, and then next week, coach, against West. So that is an early game, right? Because you guys will be on break next week for Thanksgiving.
Yes, sir. It is going to be a 10 o'clock. Oh, wait, I want to say off the top of my head, 11 o'clock start. Should be 11, 12, 15, 1:30.
So all three teams will be playing.
Yes.
All right, sounds good. All right, and again, Pirate fans, as I said early on, we had Coach Gonzalez on. We're going to stream more games this year than we did last year. And that is something that we have talked to the athletic program about, not just streaming the varsities. We try to get as many of the varsities as we can. Got a lot of seniors there, and we definitely want to get them on as many games as we can, but not only the varsity, the sub varsity as well, the middle school as well. So we're talking about what we have now and building toward the future. So you're going to see the Pirates Cove Sports Network out there more. With the podcasting here with Coach Thompson and Coach Gonzalez, who have said that they will come on every Wednesday when they're able to, and when they can't, we'll let you guys know. And so with that podcast, we'll integrate the interviews with the players when Coach Thompson and Coach Gonzalez will let me know what players want to come on, and then we'll have them on as well with also having the podcast with the coaches, and then adding the live stream. So you get the full effect. You're hearing coaches talk about the program. You're hearing the players talk about how they're working hard to get better. And then you get to see the game and the performance there through the Pirates Cove Sports Network. So the way you can support the network is through watching and then sharing it. Just don't watch it, share it to your timeline, like it and share it, and share it with a family, share it with friends. We want to get more eyes on our podcast here. We did it with Coach Souza. We couldn't get like we wanted to with volleyball, but then we're going to continue to move forward with softball, baseball, soccer. We've talked to Coach Beck and Coach Raspberry already. They've already committed to coming on, and so it's going to be a lot of fun. So definitely tune in and support the podcast. Coaches have a long day, and then they come in and they spend 30 minutes with us. So I greatly appreciate that, Coach. Thank you very much, Coach, for coming out. Good luck. Tomorrow, you got to travel a couple of times back and forth to Corpus, but I know it's going to make us better. And then next week, West Oso. Coach, I remember you telling me, I think it was that you guys don't get a break during the holidays, right? You guys got to play. Basketball season comes when it's Christmas. You guys still got to be out there playing. So you get like a day, 2, maybe 3 days off. And
yeah, I think this Thanksgiving break we got 2 days off and back to work.
Wow. So that's hey man, that's the price that the coaches pay, right? But they do it, they love it, and unfortunately basketball falls during the holidays. But coach, thank you very much. Appreciate your time. Sorry I was late. But like I said, next week we're gonna get back on track here. And coach will be coming on again every Wednesday at 7 live. You can catch it right here on the Pirates Cove Sports Network. Coach, thank you very much. Good luck, and we'll see you next week.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.